What is going on, guys? Dropshot here, and we are back with another NHL 18 video. This time, we're going to discuss eSports and NHL. So, if you guys don't know what it is, eSports is professional video gaming. So, there's a chance that NHL actually might be getting a professional league, and yeah, so I'm gonna talk about it with you guys because a lot of people have been speculating, saying that it may or may not happen. I'm gonna give out my opinions. Okay, so I'm going to obviously give out my educated guess and say why it could and could not happen. So I'm gonna have sources down here. You guys are gonna obviously see on why I'm saying all this. So first of all, why it could happen. So Gary Bettman, NHL commissioner, said that we've been talking to EA about having a game that can replicate hockey in terms of having 6 players that are playing together against other teams, doing this more in terms of building a community. So obviously Gary Bettman wants a bigger NHL community. He wants to see people going out and playing the NHL game. Chances are, if people are out playing the NHL game, more people are buying the game. Chances are the revenue is going to go up for the actual National Hockey League, and more people are going to watch it. So more people that probably play the NHL game will probably also watch the NHL in real life. Also, online competitive leagues have shown the interest of several EA NHL players, and what these leagues are is they'll have ESHL players competing throughout an entire league, and it's 6v6 usually, and these players will basically go around and they can get traded with their actual general managers, and it's a huge online community. I definitely recommend checking it out. I personally use League Gaming, and it's a lot of fun. You get to know a lot of people. Good way to get the community together, and it's a good time, honestly. Third of all, the booming esports market with FIFA and Madden have obviously brought in tons of viewers and whatnot, and the fact that they brought in $2.3 million worth of earnings in 2017 over just the 2 games could probably provide a chance for earnings through NHL, just a big amount of earnings through it. So obviously EA, they have a lot of money, obviously. They're EA Sports. So I think that if they hosted a tournament for NHL, they could also have some earnings in it, and if there's a lot more at stake, chances are there's going to be a lot more people watching the game and seeing what's going on and seeing what's up. So obviously, since there's a lot on the line, people would watch it and it might do well. So now the darker aspect on why it could not happen. So back to reality on NHL lacking the big esports leagues, and they have little players in MLG, but I don't think they have any players in ESL. So what these 2 leagues are, ESL and MLG, is they're huge leagues, probably the biggest esports leagues out there, and they give out lots of prizes, whether it's money or add-ons, whatever. They give out a lot of different rewards, and they host the major esports titles with Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, whatever. They have lots and lots of players in those 2 markets with ESL and MLG, and NHL is not one of those games that are actually available. So if EA NHL was in those 2 leagues, either one of those leagues, I think that it would be a lot better because of how they give out a lot of prize money and the community would be bigger. Also, third of all, considering the NHL esports events would have 70% less of a viewing audience than Madden, it would have obviously less fans watching. So NHL has less people playing the game than Madden, and if there's less people actually playing the game, there's probably going to be even less people watching the game. So that's huge. Obviously, there's only 330,000 players that bought NHL over PS4 and Xbox One, and obviously the viewing would be pretty small considering there's only around 300,000 players actually bought the game. So, obviously, that's not in good terms, but then again, that's probably the biggest aspect of making a sport professional. You need a lot of people to watch it, and you need a lot of people to be interested in it. And finally, if it did happen, what are my predictions, and what do I have for speculations? So, considering there's 2.17 million Madden players versus only 0.33 million NHL players, the amount of earnings would be obviously 71% less than Madden's total earnings. So, since Madden in 2017 had $1 million in earnings, NHL would have $284,000 in earnings. So, obviously, the earnings would be a lot less, but then again, there is a lot less people that actually own NHL. But that's, like I said, that's all speculation, but there would only be $280,000 on the line, which is significantly less than $1 million, and that's over the entire year, so that's definitely over more tournaments and leagues and whatnot. So it would be significantly less. Another speculation I have is that, so EA would have a major event, and it would cover FIFA, Madden, and NHL at just one event. It would be at, say, I don't know, some random NBA or NHL arena. And there's a lot of people that buy the tickets, and the people who actually buy the tickets, they'll basically buy the ticket for the afternoon or the entire day, whatever. And once they buy the ticket, they'll have access to all the FIFA games, the Madden games, and the NHL games. Thus, basically, if you're buying one ticket, you're buying the ticket for every one of the events. So, it would force people to watch NHL, probably. And even though they might not be there for the entire day, they still might have the opportunity to watch competitive NHL while they're at the event. So they might as well go and watch it if they have the ticket for it. So EA would kind of nearly, I guess, not really force them, but it would provide an opportunity for players on FIFA or Madden, players who are watching the game. There are events that are also going on. They might also have the opportunity to watch NHL events that are also going on that afternoon. So I think that's how it would work out personally, and I think it'll just be massive crowds for all three gaming platforms. I mean, it's kind of like a TV company, for example. And, okay, so say you're having like DirecTV. They force you to pay for every channel instead of just picking the ones you obviously want. And basically forces you to pay for more than what you actually want. So obviously there's going to be FIFA people who don't really necessarily care about NHL. There's going to be NHL people that actually don't care about FIFA. So either way, if you have the opportunity to watch something, you might just give it a chance, and maybe you might be interested in it, even though you might have thought you wouldn't have been interested in it. So I think it'd be good if EA did that way. Third of all, the NHL would gain more publicity through the video game and the actual sports league. So, if the NHL has an eSports league, it's just going to provide a bigger community through the actual video game itself and also the NHL. So, if more people are watching eSports, more people will probably be buying the game, and if more people are buying the game, more people will probably be watching actual hockey. At least, I think if a lot of people are watching a video game or playing a video game, they might actually spark some interest in watching the actual NHL. And I think, like I mentioned earlier with Gary Bettman, I think what Bettman wants is a lot more people to obviously watch the NHL and watch more games. And I think that if there's a video game out there that brings a community together for hockey, that it's going to draw in more people for watching NHL games. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like on the video, turn on notifications, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys all in the next video.